Hello. Today I have with us the ATK Girls JW-021, the 112 scale full action plastic model kit. These are also known as the Imperial Guards, and there are two of them. This one is the first one, the other one being number 59. So this is 21, the other one being 59. This one is the unarmored body. It does come with two, and I will show you the other one in just a second. But I'd like to show you some of the features that you get on just the plain body. Now, if you've ever seen an ATK girl before, you will know that sometimes they do include two bodies. It's been more and more common, but they do sometimes also only give you one. The insect girls, Heracross and Titan, don't include two bodies. Almost enough for both of them, but they don't include two bodies. And the other one is one of the divine beasts. The white tiger doesn't include all the parts for two bodies, but it comes very close as well. All the other divine beasts and these two actually do come with the two bodies. With the insect girls. I guess you could call them insect girls. It's in the same family. But Circuit, which is the scorpion, and Arachne, the spider, do not come with two bodies, but they come with almost enough to do it. So it's kind of a shame that you don't get all of it, but you do have a lot of spare parts with those ones. It's going to be kind of a balance of where you want to go. So as far as features with this body, let me go ahead and cover the articulation. It comes with the standard body that most of the ATK girls come with, which is the sprue that includes the arms and legs. The interior of the body and the exterior of the torso are actually different than most of the other ones. So you can see it comes out with a lot of armor plating on it. It comes out with this little red flash here, and it comes with a full head so that you can build this one and the other one at the same time. So it's actually pretty cool. As far as articulation goes, it's very standard. You got the ball joint up in the head, so you can turn that around, move it up and down. There is a joint inside here, so you can bend that over, bend it back. The arms are ball joint on the arm side that plugs into the body, and you can, of course, do anything you want with the ball joint there. That is on a circular joint here, so you can lift that up at the shoulder, move it down. It does have a pretty wide range of articulation, so this fully down, and it does move all the way over, so you can turn her completely upside down there. It also rotates up here at the shoulder, so you can do that, whatever you'd like to do with that arm. There is a simple hinge joint here. It does move out to just a little bit more than 180 degrees and a little bit more than 90 degrees. Oop. Handling her a little bit too much. The standard ball with the two halves, the wrist pin connection, that one is very standard and it is included in this kit on both bodies, so interchangeable hands there. As you see here, ball joint for the inside, ball joint in the top is actually articulated, so you can move it this way, that way, and side to side. So you can get quite a lot of motion inside this body here, even just from the top. The bottom, it is articulated on that T-post, just like most of the Megami devices, so you can move that up and down as well. No, the hips have the jointed system in here, so you can actually tuck them up inside and then pull them out just a bit if you need to do that to get some sitting articulation. It does give you quite a lot. That T-bar also does drop down a bit, so if you wanted to do that as well. Just a little bit on this one, though. I noticed I can't really pull it down as much as I can on the other kits. The upper thigh right here has that articulation, so you could spin the leg, and that gets you quite a lot of motion there. The knee is the two parts smashed together here with the armor part in the middle. So you do get quite a lot out of that. You can move that all the way up there and all the way out this way. Simple hinge at the ankle, and that one is the simple peg that goes into the foot, and you can rotate that foot on that peg. So you can move that just a bit. There is articulation at the toe, but it is a bit awkward because of how this high heel looks. So overall, nothing to write home about. Simple, unarmored form. She is very pretty, though. I do like that hairstyle. It does come off quite easily so that you can replace the face. I will show you the faces in a little bit. So she's going to chill out here. And I'm going to bring you the armored form, which this set does come with the stand. And it is quite nice. I want to show you that one, too. Here she is. That's the stand. As you see, it has that 1W Imperial Guards on there. I'm not sure what the 1W means. I thought it was JW, but it is a 1. And here is her armored form. So the other one's called an archer, and this one is called the sword master. As you can see, she has a lot of swords. Scoot this back just a bit. As you can see, she is covered in armor head to toe. She has some parts exposed, her thighs. That is something that's very typical of these model kit girls. They like to show that area there. But everything else is really covered up, even up to her neck. And these are, according to the write-up here, artificial life. I'm going to read that right now. It's spread out a little bit, so give me a second here. The JW-021 setting, according to the manual here. The JW-021 model is an armed captain that is improved based on the 3rd generation mass production prosthesis. It carries nuclear power driven devices and possesses infinite power to fight. In the Secret Service, 21 is responsible for sneaking into the lawbreakers and executing them. It doesn't say executing, it says execute. It wears 7 close combat weapons to be deployed in fights in different environments, along with the sanction system. It predicts the enemy's attack routes and rapidly and precisely kills the enemy in one shot. Its ruthlessness and killing skills have earned it the nickname the Silent King of Terrors. And it does include a very cute piece of art right there for her. The role description here is the JW-021 model is an armed captain that has been improved based on the 3rd generation mass-produced prosthesis. Same thing as it said before, carries nuclear power-driven devices and possesses infinite power to fight. The swords, double blades, are exclusively designed to kill enemies quickly and elegantly in close settings, JW-021 settings. And then the rest of the write-up is in the back of the booklet, so let me go and flip over there. And these are mostly about the weapons, if I recall correctly. Yes, it is. Okay, so there's steel wires hidden in her braids, and it is super flexible. These are right here. They mentioned to trim these. I did not, so they do hang out a lot further than what they do in the pictures. You can see all the way down here. So she can use those for weapons, apparently. She does have the Imperial Guard swords at her back. These ones, there are machetes that can chop and attack massive enemies. They have the main body built with the most hardcore technology. And then an introduction for the young lady. JW-021 is the captain of the assassination operation team in the Secret Service. A token with a code printed on it is on the black gauze cap. I did not put any I didn't put any of the decals on there. So it might be there, but I don't have them on there right now. And then she also has an Imperial Guard sword, which is not here on her yet. This is a different one. I will show you that in a little bit. It is the most standard weapon of 21. It is a long machete carved by a mysterious artisan named Xiu. It can cut a metal object effortlessly. By going on further, it also tells you that there are 2 backpack patterns. So you can see here, this is one of them. I'm going to replace it soon, and I will show you the other one after I go over her articulation. This is pattern 1, so you get the 2 Imperial Guard sword sets. And then the last weapon that she carries is the bee sting, which is in her thigh armor. So this is her thigh armor. These are the bee stings. And these ones say, there's steel rope ejected from her skirt's hemline that can be fixed on a wall via the arrowhead on the top to enable highly flexible movements. Or the steel ropes can also be ejected to tangle the enemies before rapidly approaching the target to attack. So articulation for this one is very similar to the bare body. The only exceptions are that, of course, you have some additional articulation in the arm. That is because you have a weapon that I just went and kicked off. Where did it go? This goes in here. There we go. So that actually goes in here, and you can articulate that one. So she has an additional weapon that is on her armor. The shoulder pads do inhibit her motion on the arm moving around, but it isn't terrible. So you can see she has her similar articulation upward, just like her bare form. And then outward, let's see if I can move these out of the way real quick. There we go. Outward, it is still a similar, just more than 180 degrees here. It's the same ball joint inside her shoulder. This system here is actually the exact same as the one here. Just the chest version is upgraded. She does also have the same interior as the bare form, but it is locked out because there is a bar connecting her upper to her lower body, just so that she can stand up properly with all the additional weight of that giant weapon system. Down at the hips, you can see there is an additional skirt armor that lifts up and articulates this way. You do also have a rotation, so that if you wanted that bee sting to look like it's in attack mode, you can go ahead and shoot that out towards your enemy here. Pretty cool. The thighs being the same, we won't mention those, but you do have that additional articulation on the leg. As you can see, it is a mechanical version of a leg. It isn't proportioned the same as the other body, but you do have a very similar mechanism in the knee. So you have a dual articulation, one there and then one below. That also shows that you can move that armor outward, just like a Gundam or something like that. Just for that elegant posing. The foot loses its toe articulation, but that isn't anything to write home about, really. Especially with these big boots, I don't think you really care too much about that. It is a very snazzy looking set. You gain a lot of articulation at the back here. I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing off. If I drop her, I drop her. So this thing is very wildly articulated. You can move that around quite a lot. Each of these guys is only attached to one of these arms, though. So to rotate them, you'll have to do that in sync with each other. So if one moves, the other one has to move as well, so that they can stay in line with each other. This does bend quite a few different ways and can wrap around her nicely if you need that to. But I would recommend keeping it at her behind because she's pretty busy up front here. Her skirting also has some articulation. Let me go ahead and pull this off to show you guys what it looks like. So the skirt has a whole setup where all of these are articulated. You can move them outward, and they are patterned in rows together, so you can actually cover them up or spread them out just a bit. And then they also have that bend, or have that additional articulation right here, so they can flow upward if you need them to get out of the way for an attack, or to look like they're flowing in the wind. So the second set of armatures at the back are actually just a one-piece arm, and this one has an additional set of articulation so that you can rotate it in a different dimension. As you can see here, it's pretty complicated. I just want to use it to hold that weapon, so just like that. But you can move a lot of these a lot of different directions, so if you wanted to, you can have it almost anywhere. But having it reach over her shoulder here is pretty convenient to have her deploy that thing. It also comes with an additional arm for a different weapon. This is not the same as the 4 that are on her other set. This is a much thicker weapon. This is the one, according to the legend, that it is a more powerful weapon of the vibrating blade. The other one that goes along with this one is a very small sword, but it doesn't attach with that. So you can find another way to articulate that on, or to attach that on, but it is recommended for that arm. And it does include another little arm holder for the little holder for that weapon. All of these swords actually come out of their sheaths just like this, and that includes the ones that are on here. They are not just for show, they are actually holding weapons inside, which is very nice. To show, these ones do actually work in their hands, although I would argue that they don't work as well as I think the designers planned on them. Their hands are quite small for their size. It does fit in the holding hand decently well, just like this. And that goes with all of them. They are the same square peg size, so you can pose that in her attack mode. Same goes with this one. She also has a holding hand, and she can hold that just fine. Let me go ahead and pose it with the small weapon. And of course she makes me a liar. She doesn't want to hold it after all. So I guess this open hand is more for the ranged weapons that you'll see in the other version of this girl. But with that said, it's not too bad. You do have another set of holding hands, so you can pass those back and forth between the two girls. Alright, so as you can see, the face plates, you see she's rather angry and she's rather calm. The other one is an even angrier one. So this is, I guess, the attack mode. Probably should have put this on the armored form, but it's not, to me, it's not exactly to my liking. The set does come with an additional 5 face plates, but only 3 of these are going to be usable. And the reason being is these are copies of the 3 that I showed you right now. So you get the angry face, the motivated face, I would say, and the relaxed face that I put on the armored form. But the other 2 that it includes are for masks, and she didn't include the mask. That's for the J59. So you can't really use this one. There's no mask on it. But with that said, that is something that they did include, and it is quite a lot of extra for this set. Move these out of the way real fast, and I will give you a look at some of the other extras that this set includes. So it does come with quite a lot of decals. These are the faceplate decals. There are quite a lot of other stuff in here. Lots of lines in gold to actually put on your set. And let me see if I can dim that down, if you can see that gold. And that is going to put on a lot of the armor, and it is going to look great if you actually do bother to put those on. I usually don't, but I do have plans to do it for this one because I don't think I'm going to paint it. Looks pretty great right out of the box. The other thing that it includes are a ton of extras that are for the other sprues that generally come with the other sets. So the inclusion of some pieces that you aren't using, including some feet, which I plan on putting together for her. Some extra parts for that stand because they do tend to fail. Some extra hand parts. She does have the peace hands, open hands, fist, a lot of extras there. And all of these extra sprues for hair and for body parts. You can see these ones are actually parts for the circuit. That is the Arachne and Circuit, the bug girls. So there's just a lot of extra parts, and they generally come with a lot of parts for sprues because they do tend to reuse the same one. I think the Circuit one is used on most of the other ATK girls as well. But with that said, I do highly recommend this kit. You can find it for relatively cheap compared to Megami device kits and things like that. They are very, very cheap for their price, for what they include. And there are 2 girls in the box, so that's another thing that you can look forward to, is having the unarmored form without having to dress down this other one. One thing I'd like to do is, because these are a brand that I haven't done a lot of reviews on, let me go ahead and show you a size comparison. Here is a high-grade Gundam. Here is the Alto from the 30-minute mission series. You see he's quite a lot shorter than these guys. Next series I'd like to bring out is the Frame Arms girl. She's a very similar scale to these ones. So here is Architect. You can see she is just about as tall as the armored form and just a bit taller than the unarmored. Here they are beside the Megami device, Chaos and Pretty Magical Girl. A little bit taller than her. Can't forget my Frame Arms, Jinrai. My little 124 scale kit. You can see he's really short. And the big one of my group, the Master Grade Gundam NT. So the Alex Gundam. You can see he's a lot bigger than they are. A lot bulkier too. So that is it for the review for this one. I'm definitely glad I got them. They are really cool kits, and they are spectacularly worth the money that you pay for. There is no question about it. It's surprising to me how much comes into a box with an ATK Girl. I have seen them online for up to $70. I was lucky and got them on a pre-order for less than $50. I was very lucky with that one. My price was a lot better than what you'd pay nowadays, but it is worth the $70 in my opinion. I have seen them go up to as much as $100 though, and I don't know if you're a first timer for the ATK Girl, if that would be really worth it. That said, she does include a lot. You'd have a lot to play with, including all the weapons and all the extra details that you're going to come with. A lot of stuff to go around. At $100 or a little bit more, you're still getting 2 kits. So 2 girl kits, which, as you know, they're upwards of $50 a piece, even for ones that include a lot less than this. So it might be worth it, but I would try to stick near around $70. If you can find it for around that price, that's probably the best way. If you can find it for less than that, even better. I was lucky, like I said. But with that said, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. You let me know what you think of this one, what you guys like or dislike. If you guys want to know more size comparisons, etc., just let me know. But until then, I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.